comes from Jon Jones, who confirmed the Ngannou fight is dead. It started with a tweet from yesterday. Jon Jones wrote, "Currently in negotiation with the UFC as we speak." An hour later, he followed up with this: "Before even discussing numbers, the UFC was unwilling to pay more for the Francis super fight / for me to move to heavyweight. Said I could possibly earn more in pay-per-view buys." He then hinted at taking a break. He said, "It's been fun, guys. Maybe I'll see you all in a year or two." Then 6 hours passed, and now that he cooled off a bit, he tweeted, "I've had some time to think about it and I'm a lot less emotional. Just sad that the UFC doesn't see my value against the scariest heavyweight in the world. Jan, I guess you're next in line. #bad business, #shocked." Jon Jones later replied to a fan confirming that the UFC dropped the fight. Francis Ngannou also confirmed that the fight is dead. He wrote, "In my opinion, the UFC aren't willing to make this Jon Jones fight happen, or at least for what it's worth. No title fight, no super fight. Who knows when it's going to be my next fight? I hope it's not another 11 months or so. #this sucks." Our next story comes from Colby Covington, who went off on Jorge Masvidal. Speaking of Mike Heck, Colby promises to drop Jorge Masvidal if he sees him in the street. Here's the clip.
Me and Street Judas Masvidal are 100% going to fight before it's all said and done. We might fight a couple times because if I see him in the street, it's going to be a fade session. He's going to get put on the concrete. I'm going to drop him on his fucking head and put stitches in the back of his head. It's not going to be nice, Mike. I promise you that. And he knows that. Deep down inside, he knows. But he's willing to take a paycheck in the UFC to get his ass whooped because he knows the UFC is going to pay his fucking medical bills. But besides that, if we fight in the street, I'm going to drop him on his fucking head and he's never going to be the same person again because he's going to be concussed. The concrete's going to mess with him and I'll probably kick his teeth in too while I'm at it.
Our next story comes from Mike Perry, who's pissed off at Darren Till. Now, a little context, Mike Perry and Darren Till were on good terms, but a couple weeks ago, Darren Till posted this to his Instagram, which has been deleted for some time now. Till wrote, "Why don't me and this fat just fight on Fight Island to settle our differences? He's only a fat mess, and when I smash his jaw clean off, I'm gonna raw dog his bird fucking muppet." Now, bird is British slang for girlfriend, so you connect the dots. Now, speaking of MMA junkie, a pissed off Mike Perry curses out Darren Till in this interview. Here's the clip.
No crowd. Darren Till's mom, too. Darren Till. I want to fight Darren Till. I want to fight him, and I want to jump out the cage like Khabib did and jump kick his mom in the face. He's a fucking piece of shit. And there's nothing wrong with being unless you just like sucking dick. That's cool. He likes to suck dick. That's why he wanted to go to the spa. Fuck him. Excuse my language if that's terrible, but I hate that motherfucker's guts. I don't like when people say certain things. I have one thing I care about in this fucking world, and whatever. Obviously, people are going to use that against me, people who want to see me fail. But to me, it just puts this focus on me and this energy, because I understand that anger can throw you off. And I've been dealing with that my whole life. So it makes me focused and prepares me to do what I need to do to come out on top.
Our next story comes from Daniel Cormier. Speaking on the DC and Helwani show, Cormier picks Jon Jones over Francis Ngannou if the fight ever took place.
I like Francis, a lot. But again, there's a lot of things that he does that aren't technically, you would never consider him a technical striker. And if you're able to get off an angle, right? Like, I've noticed one thing about guys, when Francis starts to go downhill, he's hell on wheels. Yeah. The guy's back straight up. If you cut an angle, Miocic did a good job of cutting angles. You know what else Stipe did to him? Stipe was able to get Francis to engage. He would fade back, and then he would just clock him in the face as hard as he could. And even though he didn't drop Francis, he would clock him in the face. So then Francis had to start respecting him, and then he would take him down. And I think if you can gather some respect, it would be easier to deal with. But it takes respect. Like, you got to get some respect. And I do believe that in that fight, Francis can knock him out. Like, if he hits him, and Jones can be hit. Like, let's not be crazy and think Jones can't be hit. But Jones, he's very evasive. He's very smart in there. And I've hit him hard. Like, I've hit that dude hard a lot of times. If he can't knock him out, though, there's no way he beats him over 25 minutes. If I was picking a favorite between Jones and Francis right now, I figure with the mind of Mike Winklejohn and Greg Jackson, they would figure out some sort of way to survive the early part of the fight. And then the threat goes from category 5 hurricane to category 3 hurricane over the course of 5 minutes. So
our next story comes from Alistair Overeem, who's looking to fight for an interim title. Speaking on UFC Unfiltered, Overeem explains what he wants next and reveals that he will retire in 2 years after his contract is up.
Well, okay, so the landscape is a little bit tricky, right? But I don't know, things have to kind of fall exactly in place. I think also with the current situation, Stipe Cormier, that's kind of like a little bit delayed, slow. There could be an interim title maybe coming up somewhere. To me, interim title or real title, to me, it is the same thing. It's a belt, right?
Yep.
So I would be very motivated for that. But listen, we just have to see what's up. No rush. Focus on the things at hand. That's my health, my diet, all those things. The training is excellent. The team is excellent. Team Elevation in Denver, Colorado. And just one piece at a time. And either it will come or it won't. But we're just going to stay focused. You know, if I'm realistic, I am getting older. I would say another 2 years. I have 4 more on the contract. And most likely after these next 4, it will be over. And I will, you know, raise my kids, enjoy life. I'll probably become a coach. You know, I love being in the gym. I love the people's aspect, but also the problem solving aspect of it. You know, I've been training 27 years. All that knowledge and expertise, we got to just give it over to the next generation. So I'm looking forward to that. But as of now, of course, I'm still a fighter, right? I still love the development myself.
Our next story comes from Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. Speaking to MMA Crazy, Wonderboy says he would like to fight either Colby Covington, Leon Edwards, or Jorge Masvidal next.
At this point, oh man, I don't know. I mean, I'm ranked number 5. I don't think anybody wants to see me and Tyron fight again. So, you know, you got the BMF, who I fought and beat already, which would be cool to face him again, because he's higher ranked than I am at this point. Leon Edwards, who's evolving, and I think a lot of people are underestimating him. He's very good. He should be fighting for the title. I don't care what anybody says. He should be fighting for the title. And then you have Colby Covington, who I would love to piece up as well. So any one of these guys, you know, I'll do what I have to do to get to that next title. I'm not giving up on it. So that's kind of who I have my eye on at this point.
Our next story comes from Darren Till. Speaking on the Eurobash podcast, Till says he wants to fight Israel Adesanya after knocking out Robert Whittaker. Here's the clip.
Well, yeah, you know, we're all, you know, Izzy's a superstar now, and I'm becoming a superstar in my own right. And when I punch the neck off Whittaker, then me and him are going to fight. But, you know, I have to look. I have to focus every single ounce of my energy. Yeah. I know I've been criticised before. I thought, Willie, about saying I don't care about my kids and that. Same mentality, mate, and people understand what I mean. It's not that I don't care about my kids. I have to put every ounce of my energy into beating a former champion who beat the scariest man on earth, Yoel Romero, twice. I have to put every bit of energy into that, mate, and we're going to fight.
Our next story comes from Gilbert Burns. Speaking on the Believe You Me podcast, Gilbert talks about his upcoming fight against Tyron Woodley and how excited he is for it.
I think he's very focused, and I hope he's very focused. You know, I want to fight the best Tyron Woodley, and I don't see an easy fight for me too. Even I like the matchup, I like my chances a lot, but I don't see nothing easy. You know, I think it's gonna be a war. But I think the guy's motivated. He took a little break. He didn't fight good against Kamaru. Kamaru dominated. He became a champion. He took his time off. And even on the first fight that we supposed to fight when that London card was canceled, one of the talks on my managers in the UFC, he said, no, I was training for a southpaw. I did all my camp for southpaw. You know, I trained just for this guy. Now I'm going to get, you know, the guy that's right hand jiu-jitsu guy is, you know, and I know just with that answer, I know how prepared he gets to each individual. You know, I think he studied me a lot. He break down a lot of videos for sure. I think he comes with a great game plan, and I'm just excited to face one of the best in the world. I think people say he's always in the conversation to be on the great welterweight on the planet, you know. And then I'm just excited to fight these guys, and I hope he comes very dangerous. That's the guy that I want to fight.
Moving on, we got some fight news and some fight rumors. First off, Casey Kenny versus Louis Smolka has been confirmed for May 30th. Tim Elliott versus Brandon Royval for May 30th. Caitlin Chukagian versus Antonina Shevchenko for May 30th as well. Sean O'Malley versus Eddie Wineland confirmed for UFC 250. Rafael Assunção versus Cody Garbrandt for UFC 250, as well as Aljamain Sterling versus Corey Sandhagen for UFC 250. Amanda Ribas versus Paige Van Zandt confirmed for July 11th. And Joseph Benavidez versus Davison Figueiredo for the vacant flyweight belt sometime in July. Peter Yan teases that he will be fighting Marlon Moraes next on Twitter in a reply to Aljamain Sterling. Dustin Poirier called out Dan Hooker, Conor McGregor, and Tony Ferguson for a fight on Twitter. And that about wraps up the video for today. I thank you guys for watching. Please have a great day and peace.